Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to race 7 already, if you can believe it, of the 2005 season. We got Auto Club, or California, this 2 miles speedway. Um, Kind of races like the super speedway. There's a lot of draft that's going to be playing a factor. This track really, if you need to gauge what your car needs, this track you need a little bit of everything. You need the engine, you need the horsepower, you need the downforce, you need the aerodynamics, you also need the chassis to get through the corner. This place has it all. If you're going to win here, you need to have the best car. Um, but yeah, with that being said, though, let's go over the weekend recap and we will talk about the drivers who failed to qualify for the event. We'll get your starting lineup and we'll get the show on the road. So, yesterday, Ricky Craven won his first Busch race for RCR over Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Jason Leffler. Last lap pass on the inside, it was pretty impressive. The outside line is pretty dominant here just to hold your momentum, but he was able to get around and made the last lap, last corner pass on Martin Truex Jr. And then this is your LCQ, or the drivers who failed to qualify. Morgan Shepherd, Jerry Nadeau, Regan Smith in the double zero, and Scott Riggs, as well as Jason Keller, all failed to qualify. Buckshot Jones, Ken Schrader, Mike Skinner, and others made the show. But yeah, should be a good one here for you folks. Excuse me. Yeah, we got 42 cars lined up. I think it's 65 laps. Another really long race. See where your favorite driver, favorite paint scheme, or maybe favorite numbers lined up here this afternoon. So we'll kind of go through. Um, so the 29 and the 6 both lost engines during practice. The 24, I'd have to double check really quick. So yeah, the 24, the 99, the 17, the 12 all got caught cheating. They will be starting from the back, and it is the 17 and the 24 are going to have to um, do a pass through once we go green. But with that being said, let's get your starting lineup and we'll get this 65 lap race started for you. There's the call to the drivers being called to their cars. On pole, we got Coy Gibbs, the rookie. That's his first career pole. To his outside, Jimmy Johnson. We got Kurt Busch starting third. Fourth will be Greg Biffle. Casey Kane starting fifth. Sixth will be Tony Stewart. We got Dale Jr., Brian Vickers in row four. Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin is looking to turn around his season, starting 10th. We got rookie Carl Edwards to his outside. Casey Atwood. Then we got Dale Jarrett and Jamie McMurray. Then we got McMurray's teammate, Casey Mears, Travis Kvapil to his outside. Ricky Craven, yesterday's winner, to his outside will be Elliott Sadler. Then we got John Andretti for Bill Davis. To his outside, Jeff Green. Then we got Robbie Gordon. Outside of him, Ward Burton. Jeremy Mayfield and Joni Mitchell. Kenny Wallace and Buckshot Jones. Ken Schrader, Michael Waltrip. We got Jason Leffler. To his outside will be Jack Sprague. Paul Menard, another Busch Series regular. To his outside, Bill Elliott. Then we got Dave Blaney, Kyle Petty. Then we got Mike Skinner, Ricky Rudd. Then we got Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, and Kevin Harvick will be your starting lineup. And yeah, we will get the engines fired and let's get this race rolling.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire engines. We should be rolling here soon. We got the 24 and the 17 queued up for their black flag. Pace cars rolling. Everyone gets away. There goes everybody gets away. As the cars roll around through 3 and 4, you can see just how wide this 2-mile track is. Here they come off of turn 4. Pace car is going to make that left-hand turn. Everyone's stacked up, lined up. And we are rolling green from California. These guys are going to see him fan out 3, 4 wide. Corey Gibbs drives it down into turn 1. Jimmy Johnson rolling around the outside. As you see, everybody's fanning out. Johnson's got the lead. He should be really, really fast here today. We know Hendrick is really hooked up. They've won the last, 4 races? We got Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon serving their penalty. And Jimmy Johnson will lead lap 1. As we'll see Tony Stewart here, 196, 198 I believe it was, nearly into Vickers. Vickers slides up. See everyone just super fan out. They're nearly 4 wide through the corner. Atwood and McMurray may have made some contact. There's Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon. They're going to be battling for the lucky dog. Unless Gordon got out in front of the leaders, we'll have to see. Tony Stewart's trying to help Case Kane along. Jimmy Johnson leads 2 Roush cars and a couple JGR cars, and then actually all 3 JGR cars are up front, and they're looking pretty quick today. These guys are working down the back. Now, if you've seen the Rockingham video, you know Rockingham has lost a date this season, and it is to this place. California will have 2 dates. It'll be the second to last race, I believe, of the 2005 season. So that'll be something to look forward to if you like this kind of racing. They're 3 and 4 wide. As Kurt Busch is beginning to reel in Jimmy Johnson. The front 3 have kind of broken away. Case Kane, Carl Edwards, Labonte, Coy Gibbs, Dale Jr., Stewart, Dale Jarrett down there on the bottom digging. They're going to be 3 wide for 4th. And Dale Jr. got really tight there. Sadler has to get to the bottom. Jr.'s going to lose at least 1 spot, but he might be able to get some momentum around the outside. Biffle kind of shading low there. Johnson has really been on it here recently in the Cup Series. We'll have to see what he can do and put his bid in for his 2nd career championship. I don't really know when the field window will be. We'll have to see. I imagine it'll be around... Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe like 20, 25 laps, I think. If it is 20, it might be looking like a 3-stopper. If it's 25, it could be a 2-stopper. But we'll have to see. As we got all the JGR cars there. They're 4 wide right here for a second. Dale Jarrett's digging on the bottom. Travis Kvapil, that 33 car, since it went full time in 2004, has been pretty quick. Rookie Travis Kvapil's doing well. Last season, Kenny Wallace did well. As here comes Matt Kenseth to the inside of Ward Burton. So he's running well. Top 4 breakaway. Then we got the 3 JGR cars kind of battling amongst each other. Ooh, Junior and Vickers nearly made contact. Casey Kane has got a handful right now. They're 4 wide down the front stretch. McMurray says, "Get me out from behind you." I believe that's Jason Leffler this week in 84. It is. He's going to the inside. Casey Kane is in trouble. That 5 car. It's dropping anchor. He's got some serious handling issues. That 5 car is all over the place. Michael Waltrip, I think he just kind of checked up right there. Look out. I'm not sure what's going on with Michael Waltrip, but that 15 car, I don't know if he just got loose getting into the corner, and they're 4 wide right here. Here comes Ricky Rudd. Yeah, something's wrong with Michael Waltrip. I don't know if he thinks he has a tire going down or what. But he is holding up Menard and Sprague. Ryan Newman right here is trying to recover. Interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with Michael Waltrip. Anyway, that is super spread out this field. Casey Kane has fallen outside the top 20 now. Meanwhile, closer to the front, got a battle for the top 5 right here. Labonte, Gibbs, and Stewart. We got 3 Roush guys chasing after the 1 Hendrick. Jimmy Johnson. Biffle has now slotted himself up into 2nd. Yeah, I guess Michael Waltrip has just lost the handle on that race car. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there with Michael Waltrip. They're not reporting anything. He's just said it's out of control. He's lost the handle of it. You know, 49-second lap time. Back here, Matt Kenseth is trying to get his lap back the hard way. There goes Tony Stewart looking to the inside of Gibbs. Matt Kenseth is looking to the inside of Stewart. Looks like he may have the long run in it this week. It's just he's going to have to come back from being a lap down. Carl Edwards throws it to the inside there on Biffle. Clear for now. Can Biffle get the momentum around the top? Now Michael Waltrip's in the pits. I don't know if we'll have to see here. I can change any tires. Right side's coming off. Johnson will continue to lead. Ooh, Coy Gibbs all over the back end of Biffle right there. Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth close behind. Michael Waltrip's out and away, so I'm not sure. 16-second pit stop, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm assuming they didn't have the handle on the race car to set up or something and blew through those right side tires. It's gonna be a long day there for that Napa machine. There goes Vickers, Stewart, and Biffle. They're gonna try 3 wide here through 1 and 2. Tony Stewart's gonna lift. Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch are battling for second. Kurt Busch has got the best of Edwards for now. Coy Gibbs and Biffle drafting up top. See how just bumpy this race surface is. This time by will be 50 laps to go. Got 3 wide, 2 rows deep. And the fall off is pretty significant, so if you can find a way to be fast and save your tires, I think that's going to be the key. Is see Matt Kenseth right there. He would be sitting 4th right now if he was on the lead lap. But this man right here, Jimmy Johnson, is fast. Like we said, it takes horsepower to get down these straightaways, the aerodynamics to get through the air down the straightaways, and you need the chassis to get through the corner. And whoever wins this race likely is going to have the best overall car. And I don't think it's a surprise that the 48's up front. And then you got all this Roush, but it's nice to see these Joe Gibbs racing cars. They have really made a big step up this season, and it shows. There's Dale Jarrett, Casey Mears there, Travis Quapple. So Robert Yates is right there doing well. Penske. See where Casey Kane has fallen to. He is outside the top 30, sitting 32nd. Not good. Not what you want right there. There's Newman. He's going to look to the inside of Dave Blaney. That Craven has lost the handle on that race car. Yeah, Dave Blaney has reported that the engine sounds a little funny. Says it's not running like it used to. Whoa, Michael Waltrip came flying up on Ricky Craven. That's what fresh tires look like against old tires. 44.1 to a 43.8, couple tenths quicker. Matt Kenseth, he's not one spot behind Jimmy Johnson to try and put himself back in the lead lap. And Michael Waltrip would love if Kenseth was able to get around Johnson. Because if a yellow comes out, he would be in the free pass spot. Brian Vickers is in pit road, saying he smells oil for the 2nd week in a row. And right there, he just kind of pulled it into the pits. As Ricky Craven has really lost the handle on that race car. Yeah, they have missed the setup this week. There you go, team picture right there. With Joe Gibbs. That's 2 weeks in a row now that Brian Vickers has smelled oil, and he's got to bring it down to the pits. I'm not sure what's going on there. He is out and away down there on the apron. That is really unfortunate right there for that 25 team. Did they lose a lap? I imagine so. This time by will be 45 laps to go. 44.2 to a 43.9. Kenseth is quicker. If he does catch a caution, he's going to have to fight his way through the field. He's going to need a lucky break. He is running well. We're going to battle for 4th here. trying to invite Carl Edwards for the battle for third. There goes Tony Stewart looking to the inside of Edwards. Bobby Labonte goes up to third. Oh, I'm sorry, second. Jimmy Johnson pitted. Remember last week he pitted early. As soon as that window opened, he came down into the pits. And there he is all by himself. He's going to get a lot of speed there on that short run. Let's see if anybody else pits this time by. Tony Stewart dives it down to the inside. Kurt Busch will be staying out. Tony Stewart's coming. Dale Jarrett's pitting. People back here staying out. Ward Bird and Sterling Marlin pitting. Buckshot Jones, he's having a good race in the 92 car. Dale Jr.'s up to fourth. Bobby Labonte's looking for second there on Edwards. Here comes Jimmy Johnson coming out of the pits. He's going to blend right in front of Kurt Busch. Now it looks like all these guys are coming down. Anybody going to stay out? Labonte looks like he's trying to take advantage of the rookie. See if he can gain a spot here coming down. Does not look like it, as it's going to be Travis Kvapil's going to stay out. He's going to try and lead a lap. He does. That's a bonus point going towards the 33 team. I don't think anybody else really stayed out. There's a 25 there, but he already had pitted. There's the 15 again, already had pitted. Here comes Ward Burton with a run here on Jarrett. Sterling Marlin split in the middle. There's Matt Kenseth there, Tony Stewart. Jeff Gordon comes this time. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Now, with Jimmy Johnson, he did not have any draft, so we will have to see if that plays any difference. I don't think so at all. Holy smokes. These guys are down here accelerating. There's Tony Stewart there, and Johnson is already sailing it off into turn 3. Wow. This is interesting now. Is Brian Vickers, I believe, should cycle to like 4th or 5th here, I think. Unless they did extensive work, which I think they did, so maybe not. He might still be a lap down. We'll have to see here, though. Oh, look out. Tony Stewart. Yeah, Matt Kenseth is 3rd. He's going to need a yellow right here. There's Tony Stewart looking to the inside of Dave Blaney there. Yeah, Matt Kenseth's going to need a caution. I don't think he's going to get it. I think he's pitting this time. And yes, Brian Vickers is 5th. But can he stretch the fuel enough to make it to the finish? There's Mark Martin in 8th. These guys are all battling back here. Not a great cycle for Labonte or Biffle. They stayed out a little bit extra, but Jimmy Johnson with like a 7.5 second lead over Tony Stewart. Kind of like Texas, where Johnson short pitted, got a huge gap and a huge advantage. Excuse me. These guys are all going to file down in here 3 wide. Junior's going to try and slide up in front of Labonte. And we got these 4 cars battling it out for 3rd. There's Tony Stewart. So 36 cars are on the lead lap. I think it should update here at some point. Casey Kane, 34th. Oof, that 5 car. They really severely missed the balance on that machine. See where your favorite driver may have cycled. Casey Atwood trying to get around Elliott Sadler. There's Kenseth. Oh, Jeff Burton, what a save! Let's go look at that again. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if there was something extracurricular that happened there. Maybe could have provoked that. But Coy Gibbs all over the back end of Jeff Burton. So we jump back to live here. These guys are scrapping for a top 10. And now Mark Martin all the way up to 3rd, I believe now. Trying to get around Dave Blaney, goes high. Does Blaney give him the top? Not really, no, he does not. That's going to give Carl Edwards the spot back. Can't imagine Mark Martin's too happy with that. And now Jimmy Johnson has an 8-second lead over Tony Stewart. And there's still Jarrett on fresh tires. So we'll cycle through here. I think the 92 reporting he has an engine doesn't sound very good. He's on pit road here. Did he just pull into the pits here? Yeah, I was running 15th. That's a shame. Buckshot Jones in that 92 car was running really, really well. It's a shame. He's running 15th. Now we have 3 Roush guys here all lined up. And then Biffle and Jeff Burton just behind them. This time by will be 35 laps to go. Coy Gibbs and Bobby Labonte, with their strategy, they've lost a little bit. Casey Mears trying to get to the inside of Junior. Now he's going to get to the inside of Labonte. Junior, he's in the fence. I believe he blew an engine. I see smoke come out of the back. That's going to draw a yellow. Hopefully no one else makes contact. Look out, McMurray, Mayfield, Quapple, look out. Bill Elliott there. That's going to draw a caution. He got up in the fence there. The 92's back going. There's Jimmy Johnson. Looks like Jeff Gordon's going to get the wave around here. And this will mix up the strategy quite a bit. That's a shame. Junior was running good last week. Pretty disastrous week. He's coming down here. Kyle Petty's coming to the pit. See right here, just kind of going off into turn 1. We were following this battle. Right there, gets oil on the tires. Can't control it up into the wall. And I believe something happened with the 43 as well. He was coming to the pits. Something happened down in here somewhere. Maybe getting into 3. Ooh, I see some smoke there too, yeah. The 43 also blew up. So we'll jump to live here. Looks like they've put that car back behind the wall. It looks like Jimmy Johnson pitted? Oh boy. As we are about halfway through this race, Johnson did pit. Anybody else pit? There's the 92, the 31 pitted, the 42. Very lonely pit road down there. The 42, the 2, the 31, and the 48, the 25. As this will give the lead to, I believe, Tony Stewart. Yeah, we'll get this cleaned up here, and we'll be back for the restart. Alrighty, Tony Stewart will be your new leader, followed by Mark Martin, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, and Greg Biffle. And Jeff Burton. I mean, oh my gosh. And then the other Roush guy right here, Matt Kenseth, he's lined up on the inside. See where your favorite driver may have cycled. Back here, with your drivers with pit stops, Casey Kane, 25th. Johnson, Vickers, McMurray, Ward Burton, Robbie Gordon, they all pitted. And then these three cars got the wave around and the lucky dog. As the 07 is slow on the apron. He's radioing, he just lost fuel pressure. So hopefully he can make it to pit road. He does. And we are back green here from California as the 7 does not get going. Pretty much the whole inside line does not. Kenseth gets around. There goes Mark Martin trying to get around there. Look out. Teammates! Biffle saved it. Bobby Labonte's going to jump out to the outside now. Everything seems okay now. Everything's kind of back to normal. There goes Mark Martin. I mean, look at this. I mean, Roush. All 6 cars are up towards the front here. And Mark Martin's looking for the lead. Kenseth is looking for his lap back. Yeah, if the 2 JGR cars weren't there, I mean, it would be all Roush right here. That's pretty scary. As Mark Martin's going to grab the lead, but Matt Kenseth will grab his lap back. I'm not really sure if Biffle right there, we know he's been kind of known to be a little aggressive. Not sure if he cut down in front of his teammate or not there, but so you see the outside line with the momentum. Now they're 3 wide for second. Mark Martin's going to try and pull away, but now he's side by side with his teammate. There's Ricky Craven leaving the pits. And they're going to be 4 wide for second. Biffle way down low. He might be able to clear. Here comes Carl Edwards up top. Biffle has to lift. Carl Edwards is cleared. He's going to have a pretty big draft there on the 6. And these guys are going to be 3 wide. Don't look now. But cue the Jaws music. Jimmy Johnson's already inside the top 20. I mean, look at this mess, though. I wouldn't want to be a part of this. I'd rather be up front. Oh, Johnson's slicing through it. But don't look now. Robbie Gordon is actually the highest car who has pitted. Followed by Vickers, then Johnson. That 2 car's pretty hooked up. He may sneak a win here for Penske, but he's going to have to hold off that 48 car. Seems he's running the bottom very well. There goes Johnson down low to the inside of his teammate. 2 teammates, actually. Gonna make the pass on Leffler and Vickers in the same corner. I mean, look at this mess. Robbie Gordon's all the way up to 6th now. They're 4 wide for second. Robbie Gordon on those fresh tires breezes past. Johnson's up to 3rd now. Vickers is now up there. And now Robbie Gordon's going for the lead here on Mark Martin, followed by Johnson and Vickers. Vickers is going to make it 3 wide for 3rd. Johnson's going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Vickers down low. They're going to be nearly 3 wide for the lead here. Robbie Gordon is going to get the lap led, but he's going to lose the preferred lane to Jimmy Johnson. Unless Gordon can clear here. Can't quite do it. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead on the exit with Jimmy Johnson in the preferred lane. Johnson's clear of both of them. Mark Martin's in 4th. Bobby Labonte in 5th. Then we got this crazy battle going on. McMurray's having a great run. Jimmy Johnson starting to reel Matt Kenseth back in. Remember, all these guys, they were on pit road right here. But now when everybody else pits, they're going to be on the slower end of things. But we'll have to see how everything cycles. As you see, these top three are just running away with it. Matt Kenseth can't hold the middle of the corner. That's going to check Brian Vickers up. Robbie Gordon's going to jump to the outside. He's going to try and grasp spawn to second. There's McMurray trying to get fourth away from these two. Now Robbie Gordon's looking three wide middle between Vickers and Matt Kenseth. Brian Vickers able to hold off Robbie Gordon for now. McMurray's now clear. Here comes Ward Burton looking up the inside. Tony Stewart, remember he stayed out. I believe he was the leader on the restart. And backwards he has fallen. So we'll kind of jump back up. Here's McMurray. And Jimmy Johnson. Shocker. I don't know. I wouldn't pencil in Jimmy Johnson as the winner yet. We still got over 20 laps to go. And Brian Vickers is kind of closing in a little bit. The last 4 race wins have gone to these two. It's been Vickers at Vegas, Johnson, was it Atlanta? Vickers in Bristol, Johnson at Texas, and Vickers trying to win California. But Johnson's trying to go back to back. There's Ward Burton's going to go into 5th. Kevin Harvick, Jason Leffler, Tony Stewart. There's Jeff Green, Jerry Mayfield. Jeff Gordon's back to 23rd now. Yellow flag is out. We got Travis Kvapil on pit road. He was running 17th. Started slowing down into turn 1. Grabbed the fence into Mayfield. Then he was up in the wall. Oh my gosh. There's a lot to... So... Yeah, so starts accelerating off turn 4. Then he knows there's an issue going off into the turn 1. Tries to get up and out of the way. Can't control it. Something's broken in the car. Hits Mayfield. Now he's up in the fence again. Up in the wall. And then tries to kind of get down. But again, something's broken in the car. Can't really control it. He's going 40 miles an hour. Tries to get down. Can't get all the way down. Boom! Buckshot Jones. Hope they're okay. That was a pretty nasty lick. At about 115 miles an hour. Pow! I believe that'll be day ender for both of them. Now Jimmy Johnson. Now all these guys look like they're going to go ahead and pit here now. And see here if they take 2, maybe they take 4. There's Mark Martin pulling in. And in real time, Travis Kvapil and Buckshot Jones, they are talking outside the infield care center. Both have been checked and released. There's Vickers right side up. Tires on, tires off, or tires off, tires on. They're changing to left sides. I believe McMurray and Ward Burton just took 2. Johnson just took 2. All these guys are taking lefts. Casey Kane, I believe, did he do field only? Yeah, Casey Kane took field only. So we got some interesting strategy stuff going on here now. But we'll get everything re-racked and we'll see you at the restart. Alrighty, the lights are out on the pace car. We got your leader, Jimmy Johnson. Starting second, McMurray. There's Ward Burton. Casey Kane. Top five will be Brian Vickers. There's Robbie Gordon. Bobby Labonte. Mark Martin. Kind of see where everybody else is running. Good little run for Kevin Harvick. He's been kind of struggling here lately. Um, all the way back there is Matt Kenseth. He got the wave around. We got Ricky Craven, Michael Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, Dave Blaney on the inside. Remember the 15 and the 7 right there. I've been really struggling with speed, and we're going to get a restart with 16 laps to go. These guys should be able to make it to the end. There were some right side tires taken. There was some fuel only, like the 5. I believe Johnson only took 2 tires, so it'll be interesting. Not sure who was the first one who took 4, but we'll have to see if that was the right call and see if it's going to pay off. But pace car's on pit road. Green flag drops, and off we go. See all these drivers not wanting to move to the inside down there because Dave Blaney. As there's Casey Kane. Look out. Elliott Sadler. Bobby Labonte's all over the place. Michael Waltrip running over Ricky Craven. I think Craven's got an issue. Everybody scatters. Look out. They're going to be so many different wide. I think they probably stayed out. Look out. Casey Kane. Elliott Sadler. Burton around. Look out. Kenny Wallace gets a tap from Matt Kenseth. Caution flag is out. Look out. Anybody else? What happened here to Ricky Craven? Did he hit that wall? No, he just got spun out. That looks like Ken Schrader. Look, I mean, this was crazy. I'm not sure if he had a tire go down or what, but cut down in front of Schrader, and Schrader didn't really cut him a break. And then I'm not sure if he wanted payback, but Casey Kane, man, I feel bad. Rookie's having a bad day here at California. I mean, just look at this. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide nearly. Casey Kane right there runs out of room. Sadler, Jeff Burton, contact. That could have ended way worse. I think everybody was able to get back in line. I believe Michael Waltrip will get the lucky dog this time around. But these guys will be fixing damage, and we'll catch you when we go back green here. Alrighty, we got Jeremy Mayfield blew up under caution. He's going back to the garage. The lights are out on the pace car. Michael Waltrip got his lucky dog. We are not within 10 laps. I'm not sure why the 88, the 07, or the 7 is moving to the inside, but Biffle and them, they're going to have to look live because the 7, being down on power and everything. But, yeah, it should be a good one here. See where your favorite driver is going to be restarting here with, I believe, 12 to go. Gordon's up to 21st. Matt Kenseth's 26. Couple important championship contenders. Jeff Burton there, 32nd. He's going to have damage and issues. But, yeah, we'll have to see here. Can Jimmy Johnson hang on? Elliott Sadler, I believe he took 4 tires. He looked fast. It's a shame he got caught up in that wreck. We'll have to see if anybody else on 4 tires can challenge the leaders. The pace car is going to make that left-hand turn. These cautions are going to work out for Jimmy Johnson here. He's going to need more of them. Green flag is on. Back out. What a launch from Jimmy Johnson. He's able to pull away from McMurray. Very, big gap already. As Vickers is trying to look to the inside, right? We know the aggression is going to go up. Mark Martin looks fast. Here comes Jason Leffler. Those guys might be on some 4 fresh tires. We'll really get a good indicator right here through 3 and 4. What kind of grip do they have getting down into the corner? And look at Ward Burton all over the place. But here comes Mark Martin. Here comes Jason Leffler. Mark Martin's already up to 3rd, started 7th. As Greg Biffle talked about him having to look alive, he looks like he's still stuck. As there goes Vickers going for the lead on Johnson. Vickers got it. Mark Martin's into 2nd. Leffler's into 3rd. Now here comes Bobby Labonte. He's trying to peek his nose in there. He's going to draft with Mark Martin getting off into turn 3. Bobby Labonte right there on the 6. The 2 and the 48 drift up. Bobby Labonte's up to 2nd. They are 4, nearly 5 wide back here. Dave Blaney's checking up the whole field here. Yeah, we got Jimmy Johnson up here drifting backwards with everybody else who took 2. Now Brian Vickers is going to be your leader, followed by Bobby Labonte. This time by will be 9 laps to go. Mark Martin's trying to make something happen up top. Unable to do anything that time. Trying to catch back up to Bobby Labonte and Brian Vickers, but Vickers continues to lead. Showing immense maturity for the amount of experience he has. There's Coy Gibbs looking to the outside of Busch Series regular Jason Leffler. Mark Martin's trying to get to the right rear of Bobby Labonte right there. There goes Coy Gibbs trying to help out his teammate Labonte. He's going to check up for Mark Martin. So he's going to dive it down to the inside. Look at the move Kurt Busch just made. Way down low. Robbie Gordon's slipping backwards. Jeff Green's having a great run there, right there for Haas. But Kurt Busch goes from 10th to 7th in like one move. There goes Mark Martin trying to see if the low line works. 3 cars are inside the top 5, and they're all Joe Gibbs Racing. 3 Joe Gibbs Racing cars are in the top 5 is what I meant to say. There goes Bobby Labonte. That 18 car, I'm telling you, is fast this season. He's looking to the outside of the 25. What a move! Kind of out of nowhere. Labonte had a great run through 1 and 2. Had the draft and kind of formed a run out of thin air. Had a ton of grip in the entrance to turn 3. Kind of lost it a little bit. Next time by will be just 6 laps to go. Now Mark Martin's back clear of Labonte. Can he get up, or is Labonte going to get to the outside? He is there. Jason Leffler right here. Don't look now, but they can still make it 5 in a row for Hendrick, whether it's with Brian Vickers or Jason Leffler. Great run right there through 3 and 4. Mark Martin. 6 laps to go this time by. Yes, there's 6 laps to go, but there's also 12 miles to the finish. This is a huge speedway. There's a lot of racetrack left. A lot of race. This time by will be 5 laps to go. Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte seem to be quicker than Vickers. They're just trying to find a way around. And they got to be careful not to race each other to where they can't get around. Kurt Busch has been quick. He's going to move up to 5th right here as he gets around Leffler and Stewart in 1 lap. Jeff Gordon is flying up through this field. Johnson's down to 19th. He is free falling through this pack. Next time I will be 4 to go. Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte all over the back end of Vickers. We talked about the maturity at Bristol. Brian Vickers was able to not fall to being overly aggressive and wrecking for the win. How will he handle the amounts of pressure that Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte are putting on him? Mark Martin makes a move to the inside. We know how strong Mark has been down low. Bobby Labonte is in the preferred lane up top. How high does Labonte go? Labonte's going to think middle. Mark Martin down low. Vickers up top. Labonte's there to the inside. That's going to push Vickers up. They're going to be side by side off turn 2. Coy Gibbs right here. Remember, he won the pole for this race. He could win his first NASCAR Cup Series race. Multi-time Busch Series winner. Bobby Labonte's still thinking middle. Mark Martin's down low. Coy Gibbs got loose. Stewart up top. Busch down low. This time by will be 3 laps to go. And Vickers is going to lead at the line. Labonte's going to carry the momentum and blast past Mark Martin. But Mark Martin's going to throw it to the inside. Clear Labonte for now. He's going to have a really good run here. Unable to finish the corner, Labonte and Stewart and Gibbs are lined up top, trying to chase down Brian Vickers. Tony Stewart goes high. He's going to be in the preferred lane. He's going to be ripping around the top. Mark Martin's trying to clear down low. Yeah, I don't know if that 20's got the amount of grip that he needs. But Bobby Labonte is going to be in the draft. He's going to have a huge run down into 1. What does he do with it? Alright, we talked about 12 miles to go, 10 miles to go. This time by down the back, it'll be 3 miles to the finish, a lap and a half to go. Right, we talked about whose car is overall. Like, you just need a car that's overall just great. You also need a strategy as well. Bobby Labonte up top. He got tight. He had to lift. But he's going to have the momentum down the front straightaway. White flag is out. Final lap. They're 3 wide for 4th behind these guys. Bobby Labonte's trying to look for a run to get around Vickers. Mark Martin's trying to capitalize and win 2. Stewart's lurking in 4th. I don't want these guys battling too hard for a second. They're going to give it to Vickers if they battle too hard. They're going to be side by side out of 2. One final time down the backstretch. How hard do these guys drive it in? Remember in the Busch race, Ricky Craven made the last lap pass, last corner pass. Bobby Labonte drives it in deep on the back end of the 25. He's going to try and get a run. He's got a run. Will it be enough? He's there. I don't know if he'll be able to get there, though. Down the front stretch, it's going to be Brian Vickers winning in California. What a finish. I mean, Brian Vickers did exactly what he needed to do. And he has extended the streak for Hendrick Motorsports and their winning streak the last 5 races. Him or Jimmy Johnson has won. Mark Martin 3rd, Tony Stewart 4th, Carl Edwards a top 5, Coy Gibbs a great run in 6th, Havrick in 7th, Jeff Gord rebounded to 9th, Jason Leffler top 10, Jeff Green for Haas a great run, Bill Elliott, didn't talk about him, he ended up doing great, Ryan Newman rebounded to 13th, Casey Kane 16th there, Matt Kenseth 18th, actually ended up passing Jimmy Johnson. Where is Jimmy Johnson? All the way back in 34th. Oh my gosh. Did he just free fall? 9th, 13th, 19th, 25th. Oh my gosh. And that 48 team did not get the strategy right this week. So that'll be very interesting come points time, but Brian Vickers, congratulations to that 25 team. Here are your official results. Vickers, Labonte, Mark Martin, Stewart, Edwards, your top 5. Kind of scroll through here, see where your favorite driver may have finished. Johnson was the final car on the lead lap. All the way down to Kyle Petty and ended up blowing an engine. But we'll get the points updated and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. This is the updated points post Auto Club or California race 7. As you see, Bobby Labonte moves up a spot. He's got the point lead at 247 points, 14 points over Brian Vickers, 20 over Jimmy Johnson, 21 over Jeff Gordon, and 25 over Kurt Busch. A couple of things that stand out. I mean, Bobby Labonte's having himself a great season. The only driver with 4 top 5s. Only 17 laps led though. Jimmy Johnson has the most laps led, only 10 over Matt Kenseth. Ryan Newman's their 10th in the standings. Dale Jr. 26 in the points. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those guys over there, they're struggling a little bit. Sterling Marlin's still last amongst the drivers who've started all the races. Jack Sprague, Andretti, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Green, McMurray's kind of struggling too. Travis Kvapil, 27th. I thought that they had more speed. Kind of like Sterling Marlin, they run better than they finish. Dave Blaney, 41st in the points. They got to work on that a little bit. But yeah, so these are the updated points. Next week, I believe we're off to Talladega. The trucks are off. The late model series is off, as well as the ARCA series. So it'll be just Busch and Cup. And then I think after that is Martinsville. So it'll be late. ARCA, I think, is back. I could be wrong. I know trucks, Busch, and Cup are on. And then Richmond, all 5 series will be in Richmond. So yeah, kind of quick turnaround here with Auto Club. But next week we're off to Talladega. And we'll see you guys in Alabama. You guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for watching. And yeah, you have a great day.